Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an awesome life. Fear will exist on this planet, I don't know, maybe forever until we switch into a new reality. We don't have to believe them anymore. We can break through them. I want to talk today specifically about taking the ball and running with it. I want you to look at everything that's going on this planet, that you sit and you look at and you tell yourself that we're going to hell in a handbasket. And I want to ask you what you're doing about it. When you focus on something, you create it. We've had recently some very traumatic incidents here in the United States. And people say, what are we supposed to do about this? And my answer is, this goes on every day in other countries. Why is this any different? This is the planetary challenge. This is what we do all the time. You just might not hear it, may not hit the news in your face. We have different kind of news here in the United States. It's not factual in my opinion. Yes, there are incidents that happen that are reported, but there are atrocities that go on throughout this planet, and I want to ask you a question right now. Where's your focus? And this is the toughest thing we have to do, because a lot of you say, well, this is great that we're doing all this, but what about the kids, and what about the abuse? And this is the whole purpose of collectively focusing on the higher frequency and taking the action. There are so many people who've accomplished amazing goals here, but they handed the ball off to us. Some of them didn't complete a mission that needs to be completed by the rest of the collective consciousness to raise the frequency. We are no longer going to look and blame other people, other authorities, religions, presidents, CEOs, major corporations. Blame nothing, create. This is how we take the ball and run with it. We don't focus on that negativity, the atrocities, the bad stuff that's going on. We create the lives that eliminate that. That's it. No blame anymore, because we as a collective have created all of it. How can we blame that which we have been a part of? And yes, you have been, because we are one energy and we participate in that and have. We are responsible for changing it. So maybe you haven't done any of these things, at least not in this lifetime, that are so negative. But unless you're doing something to change that collective frequency, you are still a part of the collective consciousness that is not progressing. So I'm asking you right now, are you going to take the ball and run with it? There are some people that have really done amazing things and stood up to the systems in place that are not good for all of us, and suffered consequences of that. But that doesn't overcome us. That does not rule us. That does not control us. We can move forward in peace without opposing anything. Oppose nothing. Opposition creates more struggle, and then we become, we're right and you're wrong. There is no right and wrong. This is a very difficult concept for most people. This is a higher advanced thinking. When you go into this thinking, you realize that everything has been a seemingly chaotic mess. It is not. It's been our choice throughout the collective, the history of this planet, to continue to stay in density. For whatever reason, we chose it. We've all contributed to that on some level for centuries. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So therefore, you've always participated in all of it in some form. We're pulling out of it now. So many people are paving the way for us. What are we doing? Sitting back and looking at the atrocities? Or are we focusing on the positive and being the positive? That creates. That's the quantum field. That changes the frequency. And that affects everything else out there that is on the lower frequency. It affects them directly so that they pick up on a higher frequency. And maybe at that moment when they're thinking of doing something negatively, they choose something higher. This is how it works. Advanced reality shifts include focusing on nothing but the positive. Observing what's going on, not sticking your head in the sand, but not seeking it out. Every moment that you focus on something negative serves no good purpose. Looking at that news, How do you change anything? You don't need to know that. All you need to know is you, every moment of the day, are doing something positive on this planet. If you do that, you will have accomplished your mission. Is there something that you can do that you know about, that you can take the ball and run with it? Is there something that somebody did that stepped up and did something amazing and positive? Maybe suffered the consequences again of the system that didn't allow them to complete that mission. We have to take that ball and run with it. All right? You have to be okay with that. Because when you step outside of what's not working anymore, it's going to be very uncomfortable. You may get a lot of pushback. That's okay. We are the change makers. We are the ones that are changing this planet. And you individually, as an expression of the one, will go to the higher frequency. You will get to experience the higher frequency, even if the others do not join. That's okay. But don't be so sure that you're there yet. You are definitely awakening. You're on your way. But there's always a higher level to go to. There's always more work to be done. That's what this is all about, experiencing, raising the frequency. I emphasize this so greatly because we didn't come here to buy bigger homes or fancier cars. Those are fun bonuses, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. You don't have to be broke to be a good person. Abundance can flow for everyone. Nothing you have takes away from anybody else. But are you sharing what you have? Whether it's a good word or a smile or encouragement, whether it's giving some things to people, whether it's sharing things, sharing abundance, and not believing that you have to hoard or keep things because you don't have enough. That's a lack mentality. We must move past that. Is there someone out there who's done something pretty amazing that maybe is no longer on this planet with us, that you can take the ball and run with it, helping animals, the environment, just doing good things, using the internet for positive things, not bucking the system. We are not here to create more conflict. I'm right, you're wrong. We're here to recognize that the systems and the foundations in place now, we have put them there. Every single thing in place we have allowed and placed there. Yes, we have. I know so many of you will say, no, we haven't. That's disempowerment. We have as a collective. And so whether you agree with what's going on out there or not, that was an individual choice of a person or a group, and that's okay. That's their pathway. We do not have to go along with it. So if there's something you disagree with, my question to you is, what are you doing with it? Are you making a change? Are you a change maker? Or are you just complaining, seeing the world as a problem? That is not how we change the frequency of this planet. We must take positive action to do good things, and that's it. That is it. It's that simple. Your life will change in amazing ways. Miracles will happen for you. I promise you that. You will see things like my students in my e-course. You will see things shifting that will blow your mind. Why? You stop being the negative thinker, the limiting thinker. You start to expand into things that are in the imagination that can become real. And you start to take action because you start to act as the person who you know is successful, is abundant, is peaceful, is giving, is a higher frequency, is awakened. You are on the path to awakening. Take that next shift up and release all the woes of the world, the complaints, the pointing, the right and the wrong. It shouldn't or shouldn't be this way. Somebody said they were disappointed in me because I mentioned that my father never really approved of the Catholic religion. That was his choice. I'm not here to judge that. He was a wonderful man. Can we stop finding the fault in one another, keeping the separation, seeing the good and realizing we're all allowed our own paths and our opinions? Can we bless one another and say, well, that's your choice, but what are you going to do personally? What are you personally doing? No more finger pointing. Can you do that? I know you can. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. We're going to start taking this up and up and up because something very powerful, this is 2019, something very powerful is happening right now. Things were sloughing off, and now some of the things we had to work out came to the surface. 2020, the year of expansion, but other things are happening right now, and I'm going to talk about that in upcoming videos. You can go to, down in the description, take my e-course, Breakthrough Fear, 6-week course. You'll have access for 1 year if you use the code Inspiration with Landria. You can also participate for less than $30, a 2 to 3 hour webinar every month. I'll have at least 1 or 2 every month, live with me, where we actually walk through these things. We start to write down, think through the blocks, move past them, and start to create a new reality for you. I will personally work with you every month. I've done this so that those of you who believe that you can't afford my e-course can get me live for a period of time and start to shift into that reality. And know it exists. You get to choose it. Blessings to you, my friend. Abundance, joy, enlightenment. Namaste.